Hey guys, today I'll show you how you can beat the new Lioness of Glory hologram. One tip before we start is that you can eat food to increase your offense and defense before you even start the fight. So yeah, keep that in mind and let's get into it. So first up we have this long attack chain that you will always start a fight with. So first she will try to suck you in, and there will be a chain of attacks just like this. And then she will do a ranged attack, and then she will jump down, just like that. So let's break that down, because that's quite a long sequence. A lot of these moves are dodgeable, but she also doesn't track your character that well. So what you can do in a lot of situations is you can just go behind her, and she won't track you all the way. But yeah, so she will suck you in 2-3 attacks in a row, like this. And then here's where you need to remember something, because this slam does have an explosive effect afterwards. So take a look. You have to dodge once more, or just move out of the way. But then after this ranged attack right here, that she will send out, she's gonna slam into the ground again. And this time there's actually no explosive effect, even though it kind of looks like there should be. This chain of attacks will always be the same at the start of a fight. So you can either dodge, try to move behind her. Being in the air is pretty useful too against her. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at some variations of attacks that you can do against you. I have no other tip for this other than to just watch what she's doing, because other than the first attack, it feels like she will just choose these attacks at random. So let's take a look at some of them. The first one here, she's just gonna slam into the ground. Simple enough. The second one, she's gonna do the 2 same slashes like before. Then instead she's gonna do that attack. She's gonna do a different attack instead of the ground slam we saw before, so take a look once more. You can see this because she charges it up and then she goes across the ground and then it's gonna like slice basically, right? And again, you can either move out of the way like I did or you can dodge it. But that's the variation. And then the third variation to attacks is this one right here, where she will charge at you, do 2 attacks, and then do this ground slam again. And this one is parryable. We'll take a look at some nice parries afterwards. She did the same sequence of attacks that we saw earlier, but instead she did this parryable attack where she creates these kind of pillars, and these pillars will also explode after a short delay. So if she ever makes those pillars, don't panic, you can dodge them. You just have to be ready after a little bit of delay. Now next up is a ranged attack. She's gonna turn red and make a sound cue for you when she's about to do this. And this will be followed up with another attack. So let's take a look at what it looks like. Yeah, so as you saw, she sent out 2 ranged attacks, which are parryable. I parried one of them. And then she's gonna jump into the air afterwards and start up another attack that she will always do around this HP. So when she's pretty high HP but you've dealt a little bit of damage, she's gonna go ahead and do this move. Either when she's low HP or after a certain amount of time has passed, okay? So let's take a look at what it looks like one more time. She's gonna do the sound and she's gonna turn red. And this is when you know ranged attacks are coming. There they are. And now she will perform this spin attack. And this spin attack is a really weak move, to be honest. So let's look at what it looks like first. She'll do the spin, and when you see this right here, take a look. This, when it makes that effect, that's when she's about to slam it into the ground, and it's basically gonna slice across the screen. And this move is really weak because it has a pretty small hitbox. You can simply just move out of the way. Like if I ran forward right now, I would probably dodge it. But alternatively, you can just dodge when it comes. This. And then it's going to create this fissure in the ground, which you will need to dodge as well. So, but after she does this, you might expect there to be more to come. But instead, she just falls back on the ground. She doesn't deal any damage to you. So. Now next up are these spears that you will start summoning when she's lower HP. Take a look at what it looks like. Yeah, so she's gonna summon spears, and they can happen in a few different ways. They can either spawn around you, or they can spawn above her head. But the key thing to note here is that it will make a sound cue when you have to dodge. So let's listen to it. Yeah, so as you could hear, there's a sound cue right there. And then you dodge right after the sound is over. So when she starts spawning those spears, don't panic. They're pretty easy to dodge. Just listen for the sound. Alright, so next up is a dash attack that she has. She's gonna dash twice, and then she's gonna go into the air and dash at you a third time. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so pretty simple to dodge. Keep in mind you can also parry the third one. We're going to take a look at that in a second as well. Alright, next up is another aerial attack. And this one will also play out the exact same way every single time. So let's take a look at what it looks like. She's going to go into the air. And she's going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. At her. So 4 rounds of spears. And now she's going to slam down her own spear into the ground. At her. And then lastly, she's going to crash into the ground and make an explosion, okay? So in total, there's 7 things to dodge her. First, 4 rounds of spears, then her own spear, then her slamming into the ground, and then an explosion. So let's take a look at what it all looks like again. Quite a long sequence as well. That one is going to be important to learn. She's going to do that around half HP every fight, in my experience. Alright, now let's take a look at some parries you can do that are really effective against her. There's going to be this one on the last part of the dash attack. And then there's going to be this one at the end of one of her attack sequences. This is one of the variations of a long basic attack sequence. And yeah, those 2 parries will stagger her for a little bit, so those are really useful. That's all for this time, guys. I hope this was helpful to beating the Lioness of Glory. If you like this style of content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.